What is it, loves?
Wasting.
You stepped on Thumbelina! That was my favorite tale.
Huh? Why is that?
Because it wasn't about a princess. Tales about princesses are insufferable. They didn't like that.
Contract from a goose. That's new.
You really aim to concern yourself with that?
A true witcher should never abandon poultry in distress.
It always grapple up her braid in the past, but I don't see it anymore.
We'll find another way up.
What now, you piece of filth?
Doesn't seem to be at home. A feather, broken. It was a fight. A feather, broken. It was a fight. Goose feathers. Must have been flapping its wings. Or did it just get plucked?
Watch out! Pixies! Ugh, ugly and fierce. Hey, there, in the trees. Some kind of camp?
The golden X will be ours.
I shall butcher you.
You mean to cross the barbarous Barbarossa? Not on your life.
Why keep her in a cage? Eggs from free-range birds are so much better. Oh well, Where's the key?
Here it is. Got it. Good thing you posted that notice. Never would have found you otherwise.
Oh look, she laid a golden egg for you.
If only all my employers were that generous. Would have preferred a magic bean, but not about to complain.
Did you really travel all the way here for a contract?
Nature of the job.
I don't believe it. You must have had another reason.
Well, spent a few idyllic months in Beauclair some time past. Part of me wanted to come back, I think.
Oh yes. Visit Toussaint once and you'll always know. Return.
Did you like Anna Henrietta?
Do you jest? I adored her. My darling little sis. So adorable. So sweet. Yet when they banished me from the palace, she didn't so much as peek out of the window.
She might not have known. Maybe just couldn't.
And could she also not grant me amnesty when she was crowned? Please.
Hello? Can we talk?
Schwumbotsch, my head! Damn it all! I swear that was the last time I drank with Redbeard. Oh, Sienna, a bloody long time it's been. You've changed.
Whereas you, not at all, big bad wolf. Though it seems you've started running with the wrong crowd.
And who should I run with, eh? Thumbelina? One shot and she's under the table. But, what brings you?
You could always have a drink with...
Oh, what? Not
You know what they say about the hair of...
out of the question. And why must you drink? Do you wish to drown some sorrow? And I don't mean to pry, but you don't look much like a young duchess to me.
They stripped me of my title and birthright, then banished me.
Listen,
Where is it?
Shh, not so...
Oh, I can be much louder than this.
Right there, the threats. Sienna to a T. Listen, I exist to restate.
What?
1,000 times they cut my gut open, filled it full of rocks and drowned me in the river. So once you stopped coming, I decided to repay the little imp for all her good now odds at the bottom of the well, she and the hunter, which means we can't play, and I'm under no obligation.
Wolf's pretty cranky.
Surprised? Think about it. He was cast in the role of the Nemesis without ever asking for it. It's a dog's life, I tell you.
So,
Don't worry. I'll play with him.
that's a relief.
You wish to help me? Here's your chance. Jump in the well.
All right. Time to jump in the well.
Break a leg? Any luck?
Yep, look what I got.
That would never fit you. Give it to me. How do I look?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Let's go see the big bad wolf.
Let me guess. You'll play the granddaughter.
And you, the hunter.
You again? I thought I was clear. I will not talk to you if little Red Riding Hood is not with you.
Not a problem. Psionic.
What?
But Grandmama, what big eyes you have.
The better to see you with, my dear.
Granny, what big arms you have.
The better to embrace you with, my dear.
And Grandmama, what big teeth you have. Eh?
The better to eat you with, my dear.
Butcher you.
Lost your nerve? Come on, come closer.
Ugly and fierce. Remember what Joss said about the red bean. A human has it, and he definitely didn't swallow it.
Gotta open his belly. Bottle caps, fake teeth, a corkscrew. Ah, here it is. Red bean.
Well then, one step closer to our goal.
What?
Now, I find myself wondering if you're just horribly discreet, or if those mutations completely scrubbed away your curiosity. Are you really not interested in what happened? In what became of me after they cast me out?
Well, since you brought it up, I'd gladly hear the rest. Let's see.
Yes, and the noble knights of Toussaint, I didn't stop until we reached the Ketdu wilderness. They left me there alone. They assumed something would eat me, or that I'd do everyone a but as always, I failed to live up to expectations. I wandered the woods for a week, went purple from the cold, gnawed the bark from twigs. They were bandits, bearded, drunk.
Take it neither happened.
That's when I learned a robber and a murderer can be a better... They took me in, we set off for Nazaire, and I did what I could to repay them. I advanced...
Should have stayed there.
Perhaps. Perhaps I should have forgotten everything. But you know what? There came a point when I thought, you wanted a monster.
Been through a lot.
I have. And throughout this time, my sister was...
She wasn't the one to bet.
And I'm not angry at her for that. I'm angry at her... Right.
Three bears.
3 stools, 3 beds, 3 bowls.
One a bit too big, the other too small, the third just right.
Someone's eaten from our bowls!
Three bears.
3 stools, 3 beds, 3 bowls.
One a bit too big, the other too small, the third just right.
That's 1 beam down. Good work.
3 bears.
3 stools, 3 beds. Holes.
One a bit too big, the other too small. The third just right. Come on, come closer. Time to end. Come on, come closer. Blonde curls. Rest of the body's too mutilated. Hard to say anything.
She got what she deserved, as I see it. Always took what she wanted without asking.
No being here. Gotta keep looking.
Stunning are they not? My new robe's absolutely stunning.
bitch, they didn't like that.
How long you gonna make me wait? That Witcher huffed and puffed, and look, got a bean.
It cannot be.
What cannot be?
You actually have a sense of humor.
Stunted a bit.
Well, well, aren't you full of surprises? What else are you hiding behind that gruff exterior?
Not a bad singer. Do a pretty mean rendition of The Maids of Vicovaro, for instance. But some other time, maybe.
But here we are chatting away when there's work. We must keep look. So, do you like it here?
No, got a problem with magic in general. Illusions, portals, all that. Don't trust any of it.
A bow of old-fashioned tastes, eh? I like that.
Hey, watch it. Hey, watch it.
You stepped on Thumbelina! That was my favorite tale.
Huh? Why's that?
Because it wasn't about a princess. Tales about princesses are insufferable.
Could pull myself up here, and I'll have to make that jump.
If you say so, I shall wait down here if it's all the same. Climbing's not my strong suit.
Prince's corpse. Tried to free Longlocks, but fell and broke his neck. for nothing.
So?
Got the bean, but long logs. Seems she got sick of waiting for a knight in shining armor.
Can you blame her? Men these days, dandies and fops all.
That why you cozied up to a vampire?
Detlef was a tool, and only a tool.
Too bad he didn't know that.
I trust no one. Learned that long ago. Now it's his turn.
To use him. Was that your plan from the start?
No. At first, I was simply intrigued. Do you know the story? It was in Metina, a few years past. I'd gone there to pass some root off to a fence I know. We were hashing out the terms when in walked Detlef. He said he'd come to sell a silver candlestick. He gripped it through a cloth. That caught my eye. I followed him out, observed him from a distance, but he caught on quickly.
Yeah, superhuman senses will do that.
He turned down a blind alley. I followed. He jumped out from behind a crate, baring his teeth. I suppose he'd wanted to frighten me. Alas, he didn't in the least. After all, I'm a monster too, am I not?
A higher vampire and you were unimpressed? Don't know if that's brave or just plain foolish.
I've always had a way with ostensibly dangerous, quiet types.
That's supposed to be about me too?
Oh, brother, I hate to disappoint you, Geralt, but your belly button is not the center of the known world. No, you do remind me of him a bit. You see, when I met Detlef, somehow I knew, call it intuition, that he meant me no harm, that he...
I guess. What happened then?
I truly enjoyed it at first, but only at first. He did not love like a man, but like a... To return such a feeling, anyone would be hard-pressed.
So there came a day you...
Yes, there was no other way. Let's just be friends, or... But then, once I decided to return, clean up some old affairs, I remembered him, and concluded he could still be of use.
Playing with fire, that.
Definitely, and either I'll get burned...
Got a history with Detlef.
I can handle him. You look at him as a witcher and see a monster. I know what he's really... It's time to go. Just a bit more work and we'll be able to... Now we must plant them by the path near Longlock's tower. Then we'll prepare to meet the giant. This is the spot. Pull out the beads.
What is it, loves?
What have you got?
Like I said...
What have you got?
Like I said...
For the ribbon. This enough?
It's enough. Now go away.
All right. Tell me.
What?
What you want in return. You're not doing this out of the kindness of your heart.
Don't want anything in return.
Thank you. Wait!
Why?
The stalk will sprout abruptly. Very abruptly. We must be careful. All right, toss them!
Something's always gotta go wrong.
The home stretch.
Incredible.
Admire the view later. First, we must deal with... him.
Fairy tale creature, that was one tough son of a wench.
I told you this land had gone ape mad, though I did not expect it to be so severe.
Can't help thinking you might have done that on purpose.
Why ever would I have?
To get rid of your guard, your captor. Getting close to the exit at this point. Probably think you don't need me anymore.
Well, you're wrong. You still stand to be quite useful to me.
That so? How? Plan to use me like you did Deadloff?
No, I need you for a purpose far simpler. Well, don't just stand there and stare. I need a man, Geralt, and I'm not afraid to say it. I have no idea what awaits me once we leave this place. Treat it as my last wish.
Just gonna go our separate ways? No parting words?
Did you wish to tell me something?
Actually, that'd probably be best.
Oh my. No woman's ever treated you this way.
Not that I recall, no.
In that case, at last you felt what so many women in this world feel at times.
I just hope this tale has a happy ending. For me, for you, for everyone.
That may very well depend on you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing beyond what you heard. For now. Come. The exit's this way.
I think it's got something to show us.
Careful. It's not to be trusted.
Just curious. Why do you want the heart of Toussaint and the ducal wine?
They were my right. My due.
Doubt we would have figured you out if you hadn't tried to get them. Know that, don't you?
I do. And I regret nothing. One lives but once. Here, we need but jump into the well. You first.
Portals in a fountain? Not terribly practical.
It was a secret passage. Henriette and I would use it to...
hide from your governess, which luckily she noted down in her diary, thus I knew where to await you. Never mind that. Has the young lady agreed to help clean up the mess she's made?
She has. And stop treating me as if I were a child.
Would you prefer I treated you like the lying manipulator you are?
Calm down, both of you.
But...
No buts. Let's go. Really want to be done with this. Nice place.
Isn't it? Offers a lovely view of the valley. On a clear day, you can see the outlines of Duntine.
Is it, though? A ruin like any other, I think.
So sensitive. So aware. Honestly, what did Detlef ever see in you?
Perhaps he'll tell you himself.
You nervous?
It's always a bit nerve-wracking meeting an ex. Especially so when said ex is a vampire.
I doubt he'll be in the mood for jests.
I know. May I be honest? Yes, I'm nervous. I really would prefer just to run off. I gave my word I would help, I know. But how much is that worth? Yet I owe him this meeting. And that is that.
Let's get ready. Detlef will be here any moment now.
Sienna, I have a question I must ask you. Did you truly feign it all? That which bound us was a ruse?
Detlef, it's not that simple.
Oh no, it's very simple. You either deceived me or not. In forgiving you, I grieve. For now, we must part.
What? But how?
The ribbon.
Ha! Seems I've been fooled again. She will pay for this, sooner or later. She will pay! You never should have meddled, Butcher! I want you just the lass! Both of you!
Didn't plan any of it.
Silence!
Nice place.
Isn't it?
Is it? Perhaps.
You...
I don't.
I know. May I? Yet I.
Let's... The ribbon.
I want you just
Didn't plan any of it.
Gods, start praying now!
I want you just the nuts. You tricked me.
Any of it.
Silence! want just enough. You tricked me. Both of you.
Didn't plan any of it.
Silence!
How long will you wait?
If you acknowledge any gods, start praying.
Just enough. Both of you.
Didn't plan any of it.
Silence!
Lost your nerve?
Start praying now.
want just this. You tricked me. Both of you.
Didn't plan any of it. Come on.
Acknowledge any gods. Start praying now. I want just this. Both of you.
Any of it.
Silence.
How long you gonna make me wait?
Gods, start praying now. I want just this. Both of you.
Any of it.
Silence. Both of you! Silence! Acknowledge any gods. Start praying now. Just the last. You tricked me. Both of you! Silence!
What? Lost your nerve?
Start praying now. I want you just for that. You tricked me. Both of you. Silence.
Come on.
Die, Witcher! I want you to know this! You tricked me! Both of you!
Didn't
Silence!
How long you gonna make me?
Acknowledge any gods. Start praying now! I want you to realize how you treat me. Both of you!
Didn't plan it.
Silence!
What? Lost your nerve?
Acknowledge any gods. Start praying now. Die, Witcher! I want you just the most! You tricked me! Both of you! Silence! If you acknowledge That's just the mask. You tricked me. But
Didn't plan any of it.
silence!
Come on. Lost your nerve?
Those gods, start praying now.
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist.
My, what a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
The caftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best tailoring practices. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this. Even the most exquisite robes cover only deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
Usually wear something different, better suited to my trade. Got nothing against this particular outfit, though. Just don't exactly feel comfortable in it. And I despise formal occasions.
Nothing one can't get accustomed to. Now, be so kind as to stand still. All that being as it may, Toussaint's highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera, demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected to drape the medal on a suit of armor caked in mud. Palace protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Huh. A tradition which values appearances ahead of all else. Which calls for lordly, glistening triviality and misplaced generosity.
Sound wistful. Pensive, Regis. That because they refused to buy you a new outfit?
Hardly. It's the tone I ever adopt when I find myself pondering, which, believe it or not, happens quite a lot. Besides, I've no need for a new outfit as I shall not be attending the ceremony.
Why not?
Because unlike you, I don't have to. I shall begin to pack my belongings instead. I trust you'll join me later, once you're richer by a medal and a fascinating new experience?
Count on it. Ceremonies, medals honoring virtues, just keeps coming up.
I've had no reprieve either. And I keep thinking of the last great virtue, compassion. It's the one piece of the puzzle that never seemed to fit.
Mean you suddenly believe the 5 virtues theory, after all we've revealed?
It's not a question of belief, superstition, or old wives' tales. It's a conclusion derived through exercising pure logic. Siana planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped her, surely there'd have been a fifth victim. One the gossips would have associated with a lack of compassion.
Her plans don't matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Sienna's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
Do you care not a whit who else was in her black book? We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Dettlaff. Perhaps we missed something.
Regis, Bootblack didn't say anything about making...
While you basked in glory and tried on new formal wear, I began by concocting an ample supply. I'd observed that among street folk, and of course,
The letters.
when the bootblack arrived to collect his bucketful, he hinted he admitted he'd handed Dettlaff the letters.
All in all, why not check up on that? We'll go together.
I am done, yes. It lies in your hands now to see if you are able to present my handiwork, or if you will first destroy it, crawling about.
Promise to be careful.
Oh, it's the swordsman. Good to see you. Here for a spiffing? Dirty boots are a stain on professional dignity, you know. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
Guess they could use a spit and polish.
Then I shall take advantage as well. A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Clean boots, clean soles. A fine slogan.
How's business?
Well enough. I can't complain. Though it'd be even better were certain folk to sit down for a shine as they stood and chatted.
Man in the frock coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but...
If you're about to tell me this information will cost me, forget it. How'd you get those letters?
Beggars brought them.
Why didn't you tell us this?
You didn't ask about
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. 1 for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all. Oh, I know! They all had no home!
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard. Remember what they...
Of course. I've a mind like a steel trap, as I said.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to meet, but you must focus now and tell us all you know.
Well, at the shelter,
Where's that?
everyone knows.
Thanks, kid. You must visit the shelter. Look around inside.
You've to move your little camp elsewhere, got it? This is a decent district. We need no filth folk bunny. You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use...
Gentlemen,
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss...
Scram!
The shelter. Them living here. Bother.
Look, Ballard. Another defect.
Damn nuisance. We for our women.
Decent folk, you mean?
Why?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois?
We should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
Damn spirit.
My spirit as well. My flesh is weak.
Shut up and fight.
All right. I can take a hint. Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me... I do not oppose going elsewhere, were we to have somewhere to go.
What is this place?
You could call it that. They come here.
You help them.
Because they need it.
Need some information. Looking for a...
The boot black. If...
Any of your,
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that... You can question them.
Sure all your...
They're not obliged to come, of course. But they rare...
Thanks.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold. And we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the boot black. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told...
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you
I got one too. Gave it to the...
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
It's a matter of importance to the Duchy. Hand it up.
But I was to deliver it personally.
You ought to heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago. Helped all of them.
All right. Take it. I didn't want to...
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well, well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duchessa. It seems we underestimated Siana rather grossly.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Puzzle complete now.
Alas, the matter's ceased to be a tantalizing brain tease and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint.
Duchess was to be Detloff's last victim. Siana planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Siana, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, None would have questioned the reasons. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions. Ample proof.
Why would Sienna murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power?
Yes, yes, and yes. All seem likely, and none are mutually exclusive. But if you'd like to...
Actually...
Praiseworthy, I suppose. Sometimes...
Seems a bit strong.
She used my friend as her tool for killing. I believe I've every right to condemn her, but I support... Some philosophers think empirical examination the sole... I believe you mentioned the Duchess keeps Sienna locked up.
Courtiers were insisting on a harsher punishment. Much harsher. Think Anna Henrietta had to protect her sister from a lynch mob as much as she wanted to protect her subjects from a criminal. One way or another, she's locked away in a secluded wing of the palace, awaiting trial before a court of law. Coming with?
Of course not. I shall await you at Mare la Chaise-Longue. I'll not risk entering the palace.
Besides, I vastly prefer the company of a simple mug of mandrake.
So, said straight up, it means you're going off to get drunk because you hate Sienna.
I've never been fond of categorical statements of that kind, but I admit I could not vouch for my behavior in her presence.
She treated Dettlaff cruelly.
Caused his death in the end, and now this? Atop all that? No, Geralt. I will not go with you. I will await...
Witcher. Oh! Drinking. The most fun you can have with your clothes on.
Watch my bum. Vampires. Real life. Flesh. Filth and blood. Vampire. Horrible times.
Banishing the beast. Where I'm from Poo-Poo Prist, its wondrous flavor would still be best.
The god protects, the god serves, the god's men have got iron nerve.
She looked at me, all right. Looked right at me.
Ah! Halt!
Need to see Sienna, urgently.
In the matter of?
Want to talk to...
Want to talk? Go see your gran at tea time.
Found some information important to her case.
Ah, fine then. You're that witcher who solved...
Promise to be brief.
The witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's truly but a moment. Highly irregular, this.
Have you come to see how I fare? I'm fine, thank you. Artorius' ribbon worked wonders. It's a shame they took it from me.
I know who the 5th victim was supposed to be.
Goodness, you're simply a compulsive snoop. I'm in prison. Detlef is dead. Could you not just drop it?
Sienna, stop pretending you couldn't care less. I know it's an act, and it's really starting to wear. Why do you want to kill her?
For such an accomplished investigator to ask about the obvious? Come now, Geralt. Why do you think?
Because she turned her back on...
Bravo, Geralt. Yet another riddle solved. Well, what now? Off to share your discovery with Anna Henrietta? Oh, she's no longer in danger, true. But she very well might add a little something to your reward.
Definitely gonna tell her. Not necessarily for the coin, though.
Then why do it at all?
She ought to know. If only 'cause you'll probably try to kill her again if she ever lets you out.
I probably will.
Perhaps, just for a second, you could stop dwelling on all the wrongs folk have done you, and forgive her.
Why should I?
For old time's sake. You loved each other once.
Please. I don't know who fed you that rubbish, but...
Read your governess's diary. You played together, were inseparable. Henriette'd get you into trouble sometimes, sure. But there were also times she stood up for you. When you had nightmares, only she could calm you. Time eats away at memories, distorts them. Sometimes we only remember the good. Sometimes only the bad.
If she loved me so, why did she wash her hands off me? Forget me, hmm?
don't know. But you could just ask her instead of sending monsters after her.
There's nothing she could say to change what she did to me, to justify it.
Maybe. But there's nothing out there to justify what you did to her and all Toussaint. Yet Anna Henrietta hasn't given up on you.
Ugh. You meant what you said in the Land of a Thousand Fables. You really want a happy ending to this story, don't you? Ah, with all of us living happily ever after. Go, Witcher, or they'll give your medal to another. And that would be a shame.
Farewell, Sienna.
Commander de la Tour would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
Need to tend to one thing first.
So be it.
Come on, Roach. Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Your face. Though it looked even worse last I saw you.
I apply a balm of arnica. Yeah.
Got some important information. Anna Henrietta was supposed to be Detloff and Sienna's 5th victim.
You are certain of this?
Completely. Found proof.
Inconceivable. How could she? The murders, the mayhem she brought down on the city, were they not enough? She sought to strike down her own sister, her lead. I must alert my men. Enlarge the Duchess's honor guard. Make certain Sylvia Anna is closely watched. I thank you, Witcher, for alerting me, and I appreciate your attentiveness. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the...
Thank you. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders as the ruler of this domain, for now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Tucson's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of the beast of Beauclair, step forth.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than a dozen barrels of Son Real, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
I am, and truly grateful, Your Grace. Sadly, I'm afraid I have to sour the mood. It's Syanna. She plotted to have you killed, Duchess. Planned to use Detloff. You were to be the beast's fifth victim.
This cannot be true. You're mistaken. You must be.
I have proof.
I do not believe it. In a moment I shall speak to Syanna. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet what you tell me now I find devastating. I've come to doubt that I can judge her fairly. I'd far prefer to learn you're mistaken, Geralt.
I'm not. In fact, I'd recommend you be particularly careful around her.
You exaggerate, Witcher. She is my sister. I know well how to speak to her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders, which recently ravaged our fair city of...
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
I'm not a prisoner, free to do as I choose.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Nor does it let me believe you sought my demise. My heart yearns to know you were swayed by the monster Detlef. You yourself would never stoop so low. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
Your Grace, Syanna's guilt is clear. None have cause to doubt it. But before you decide, you should hear her out. The right to a defense is hers, as it applies to all who stand accused.
What is he talking about, Syanna?
You know exactly what. I was forcibly exiled, remember? To your benefit. You knew well the throne would then be yours, though I was the elder. The ministers I can understand. They'd hated me since I was a child, thought me a poor prospect for the wife of a duke. I even understand our parents. I'd always sensed the problem. They simply feared me, for I dared to be free. That fabricated curse, it fell into their laps. A gift from above that brought relief. But you... your dagger hurt most. You were my Honorietta, dammit. My darling little sister. Now do you understand, Witcher? She betrayed me.
You were children then. You and your sister both had no control over what happened.
You're wrong, Witcher. She had control. Remember, dear sister, the day they banished me from the palace. Of course, I'd had the idea to pelt the Nilfgaardian envoy with fish bladders, which we filled with rancid suet on a lark. And which you set afire at the last, to impress me, I imagine. And I admit, you did. Hit him right in his hideous bald patch. Never laughed so hard in my life. But when it came time to find the culprit, you said not a word. I took all the blame and all the punishment.
It's true. I did not stand up for you. I was too afraid.
The council was unanimous. They listed all my offenses. My flights from the palace, supposed acts of cruelty, inappropriate friendships. They cast me out, but you, the only one to understand me, you cowered in a corner, lifted not a finger to help. Not before, not after. You never tried to find me.
That's not true. I searched for you, sent out knights, gathered tidings from without. You did not wish to be found. Since the day you vanished, I have lived with the knowledge that I failed you. I'm sorry, dear sister. Can you forgive me?
best part of the whole ceremony? It was short.
Perhaps for you, as you ducked out early. The others are probably just getting started. The drunkenness never ends in this quaint realm.
Not so fond of Toussaint after all, are we?
Oh, this place is like a strong wine, Geralt. Good in small sips. How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diabolus variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavor profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
This blue makes me... Oh. So dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus.
No, I was thinking about, how anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Even an old necrophage corpse?
You've not an ounce of refinement in you, have you? And if I were to add...
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a... after all. Regis! Damn it, where'd you go?
You raise your hand against the vampire! You shall die! I did what I had to!
Those Bruxay, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or...
Won't let it go, will they?
They will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Know what? Think I just might. Come on now, don't laugh. Maybe not today or tomorrow. But one day I'll want to see what it's like. To just wake up every day in my own bed.
Oh, stop, please. Sounds so sentimental, my fangs have begun to hurt. Then what? Will you begin writing your memoirs like Dandelion? I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you?
Distance is of the essence. I thought I might venture south.
Nilfgaard?
Why ever not? The Nilfgaardians are a modern society. None there believe in vampires anymore. This fact alone could be very useful to one wishing to remain incognito.
Interesting point of view. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do. love to go home.
And what do you get for all that work?
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
Triss?
In the flesh?
I thought you were in Kovir.
I got tired of waiting for you, so I decided to head to Toussaint. Catch some sun, see how things are going. You said it would only take a moment.
Things are pretty much wrapped up, luckily. We'll be able to head north soon.
I hope you're not upset I came like this, without warning.
True, I haven't always been fond of surprises. They remind me of work, the law of surprise, surprise child. But I think I've changed my mind. Seems surprises can actually be pleasant. Very pleasant. Let's go outside. There's this one cozy spot you're gonna love. How are things in Kovir?
Amazingly boring and predictable. Council meetings mainly concern trade matters, tariffs.
Missing the excitement?
You know the Aetheri's saying, may you live in interesting times? Well, I've already done that, and now I'm looking for...
The other mages I brought with me from Novigrad, or who made it north on their own, feel the same. You wouldn't recognize them. No conspiracies.
Sometimes I think it's all too lovely to be true. That something's bound. But for now, it's nice.
So?
I think you know the answer to that. I like it a lot. House is big, but not showy. Lovely location.
Just finished some remodeling. Paid through the nose for it, but I think it was worth it. There are already some new saplings and flowers around the grounds, but I think it's still missing something. Maybe a hedge maze? With a statue in the center? One that's stately and nude.
Oh, Geralt, don't bring up that ball. The wine got to my head and I...
Not bringing it up to tease, but to reminisce. That evening, it was magic. And your dress. You looked lovely in it.
I've got it with me. I could put it on one evening. We'll dine outside by candlelight, listen to the music of the cicadas.
Can't wait. How'd you find me? Kovir's a long way off.
I have my ways, Geralt. A hydromancy, for example.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, what becomes of us?
Mm-hmm. Zoltan moves in.
Please tell me you're joking.
You can breathe easy. Far as I know, he settled down in Novigrad and has no intention of budging. In all seriousness, though, I did see a few scraps of our future, but I'd rather not tell you exactly what.
Why not?
Because you said you've grown to like pleasant surprises.
This is your first time in Toussaint, right? Want me to show you around a bit?
Sorry, but I've already made plans.
Oh? What are you going to do?
Lie down in the sun and not move an inch.
Ah, right. A packed schedule. Not overdoing it a tad.
Oh, gotta get the most of this weather before I return north. Know that joke about how to tell when summer's come to Kavir?
The rain isn't quite so cold.
And sadly, that's not far from the truth. Oh, I shouldn't have told you that. Now you'll change your mind and not come join me.
I wouldn't worry about that. Mind if I leave?
Just a moment.
I'd rather be an eagle than a quail. Yes, I should. If I only could, I truly would.
I once had a girl, or should I say...
Scrub often. You'll soon need a coffin.
Ah, love, youth, adventure.
Yes, Geralt?
Mind if...
Just...